What is up, everybody? This is the first LS Training Nutrition YouTube video. This is going to be pretty much the main page for all of my videos that are educational tips, tricks, whether it's fitness related, training related, fitness and training are the same thing, nutrition, whatever it might be, gym related. If it goes out with my coaching, it will go through this YouTube. So, without further ado, if this is your first time being on the YouTube, welcome. I hope that you find these videos useful. This is the first one I'm ever posting on here, so bear with me. It's my first time doing educational YouTube. But this will be further explaining a little bit of a Instagram post that I put out recently. And really it's going back into some 3 main lessons that I learned during my last prep in bodybuilding. So the main topics are mindset, kind of what it took, that kind of thing. What I found out was really actually truly important, and the importance of a good support system and who you surround yourself with. Especially during bodybuilding prep, because it is a extremely stressful time. Your support system will make or break you in a lot of those scenarios. So, not sponsored by Gorilla Mind. I about drank that backwards. Rock out. Anyways, so if you're watching this video, please go ahead, like and subscribe. Let's get into it. First thing, mindset. So really the entire time that I was going through my last prep, this is the first thing that came to me when I was trying to think of something to post about the other day, was mindset. And because this is my second prep, so looking back at my first prep, I realized that there was a lot of things that I went through that it just downright sucked. There was some things there's no getting around in a bodybuilding prep, and you're just gonna have to go through some sucky situations, whatever. That's just part of it. You know what I'm saying? Nothing worth doing is ever gonna be easy. So there were nights I went to bed hungry. There were nights I went to bed tired. There was a lot of days I woke up tired and hungry. And when I really looking back compared to my first prep to this last one, when I put in my head, it's like, okay, there's no way you're going to get around this, so you may as well embrace it, feel it in the fullest, and go through that. And so that kind of, you got to embrace the suck. That's what that first point is. And then saying it's not as hard as you think it is, don't get me wrong, it is hard. But when you can look at something and actually just go through it, it's really not as hard as you think it is. You're building up this whole tolerance in your mind, thinking about it, and the more you think, the more it builds up this like, ooh, big scary, like this is gonna suck, and then it just makes it that much harder to do it because you have to walk through that mental barrier that you set on yourself. So don't do that. Don't think, just do, and commit to it, okay? Because the more you think about it, the more you are truly going to absolutely just set yourself up for failure, because you are your biggest enemy, especially when it comes to nutrition and training. The longer you look at a 500-pound deadlift, the more you're like, this is going to suck. I really don't want to do it. The quicker you just go ahead, just, obviously, take that rest, because I'm sure you did all your proper warm-up sets. You didn't do any crazy jumps if you're watching this. So, yeah. If you're watching this, make sure you do your warm-up sets. Okay? But anyways, the longer you look at that weight, the harder it's going to become in your mind, because you're like, oh my gosh, this is so heavy. When really, your body is already way more capable of what you realize. So just get it over with. Just get it done. And it's the same thing with dieting. If you're thinking about, man, I really don't want to eat all this food. I literally have chicken and rice. Kid you not. Right here. Right there. All right? That I'm eating after I get done this video, because it's hot. Anyways, when you just embrace it and you're just like, yeah, okay, it's not the best thing, but you know what? I'm still alive, and you really just focus on the good parts of it, life is so much easier. Don't focus on the bad, focus on the good. Find the light of the situation, because I promise you, it is not as bad as you think it is, especially when you're in prep, or really any kind of prep, whether that's bodybuilding or powerlifting. It's not as bad as you think it is. Just go through it, get it over with, get it done. Next point, what's important? So, next, with that being said, there's a lot of different points and variety that goes into the thought process behind this point. So obviously, while I was in prep, the later in prep I got, it got a little bit more difficult. I was a little bit more irritable. Things just weren't going as I say things weren't going as smoothly. Things went really smooth all throughout prep, but it was just a little bit more harder for it to be smoother. It got a little bit more rocky, a little bit more irritable, a little bit more hungry, which that's just what do you expect? You're low on food. It's part of it. But my family would go out to dinner when my dad was home. My dad travels for work, and I would skip out because I didn't want to put myself in that situation. And at the end of prep, really what I realized was I missed out on a lot of time that obviously, like, once that time's gone, you cannot get it back. So, I realized that I had missed out on all that time where it's like I could have just brought my meals with me and just, kind of bucked up and went through dinner. Like, that's so bad. Because I understand, like, late in prep, you really don't want to compromise anything, and you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you are going to mess up, or where you could mess up even more because you're that much more likely to, because it's that much harder. And you also have to know yourself, like, how susceptible are you to temptation of, a flippin' ho-ho cake or whatever. Like, just, for one thing, if you're on bodybuilding prep and you can't control your cravings, like, this is not the sport for you, dog. It's just not. It is not. Go be a power lifter if you got the strength, if you got the genetics for strength and whatnot for it. Either way, though, if you can't dial it in and be like, no, I'm not doing that, bodybuilding is probably not for you. If you can't stick to that diet and you can't stick to your straight training schedule and do your can't do your cardio, like, bodybuilding is probably not for you. I hate to break that to you, but because bodybuilding's hard. Like, what I just went through about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, it's hard. I prepped for 20 weeks, and it's hard, but it was worth it for me because I truly do love the sport. But anyways, yeah, back to the actual point. Relationships, friends, family, you can't get any of that time back, and also don't just like crap out on something because you're in prep. Like, you still have to show up for your obligations. So if you're a boyfriend or you're a husband, you're a father, you're a friend, really. Friend is like the minimum. Like, everybody's got friends, and then I would say like husband, wife, like that is like the maximum. Like, you still gotta show up for your obligations. Your job, that's in that like middle area. Like, you still gotta show up for all that stuff, no matter what. So I mean, if I can show up, which I literally took 0 time off except the last 2 days of prep, which was the day before check-ins, day of check-ins, and then I was already off the day of the show. So, like, I still showed up for work all throughout prep while I was meeting with clients in and out, in person, online, all that stuff. So you still have obligations. So just because you're in prep, you still gotta go to work. You still gotta do your job, okay? So same thing with that, with family and friends. Treat it just like that. Obviously, don't treat it like it's a job because it's not a chore. It's a privilege to have friends and family that care about you and want to spend time with you. But you still gotta show up. It might be a little bit harder to show up, but you still show up, okay? Period. There is no if, ands, or buts about that, okay? Last point, support system. This kind of ties in as well with the previous point, but so sorry about that. Yeah, caught a phone call. Anyways, yeah, so this ties into the previous slide. Family, friends, relationships, they are still important, or they're not still important. They are probably the most important thing that you will find when you are going through any prep of any sort, whether that's bodybuilding, powerlifting, XYZ, CrossFit, whatever it might be. So your support system, if they aren't supporting you and they're really only hindering you from your objective, you got to get rid of them because that's not a supportive friend, and my opinion, you shouldn't have those people in your life. That's just me. If they can't support you in what you love doing, probably don't need to be in your life. That's just me personally, and within reason, of course. Obviously, if you're doing some crazy stuff, then probably good that they don't support you and that they try to hold you accountable. But anyways, yeah. So I can speak to this one the most because I had a completely different support system this last prep compared to my first prep, and like different friends, different all types of different relationships with people in general. Even my parents. My parents understood the sport more. Um, I had friends that actually wanted me to succeed in what I was doing. It was all very important. All those relationships are so important, especially for a person like me who I really do value a lot of those relationships. If you don't have people supporting you, you are 10 times more likely to fail at what you're doing. Like that's just hard truth of it. Period. So if they are supporting you in what you want, then they don't need to be in your friend group for this at least. Okay. So with that being said, that's really all we got for this lovely first video of the LS Training Nutrition YouTube. So I will catch you guys. Oh, that's don't know what that's for. Do not know what that's for. Anyways, as I was saying, this is the end of the first ever LS Training Nutrition YouTube channel. So, hope you all enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, comment down below what you guys would like to see in some of the next video, and I'll see y'all in the next one for your best fitness tips.